Hello, and welcome to a new year and the first in a new series of Newsbreak. Regular viewers will notice that the old title Lunch Break has been replaced by Newsbreak. And secondly, we'd just like to say that in this particular programme, it's part colour and part black and white, although we will try to have a large amount of colour content in the future. The programme can be received in colour in the Union TV Lounge, the Southside TV Lounge and the Southside Halls on Channel 21, although only in black and white in the Junior Common Room.
Even if you have only been around college for a few days, most of you by now will have seen Felix, the newspaper of Imperial College Union. You will also have noticed that there's been a lot of controversy about the editorship, which at the moment is with the acting editor, Mr. Colin Palmer, who is with me now. Now Colin, the elections for this post, which is a sabbatical post, came about last March, in which you stood, but you didn't win the elections. What exactly happened there?
I came second by 200 votes from John Shuttleworth, who won, and Dave Crabb came third with 450, and I was at 500, so it's pretty close election last March.
Close all round, yes.
Yes.
It's a very much contested post. This presumably is because it's a sabbatical, which means you have the year off.
The 4 sabbatical posts at Imperial College Union are the big ones. A 2-day college ballot implies that they're the ones that most people are going to go for in a very serious way. The President, the Deputy President and the ONSEC and the Felix Editor are those 4 sabbatical posts.
Well, at the time, did you think that you'd win the election?
I thought so, yes.
You had a very large publicity campaign, didn't you?
Yes, so we put out 40 different posters, and Imperial College Radio ran a test ballot almost amongst people during the week, and they gave me a 20% lead. So I thought I'd won it.
Well, following the elections, when you didn't get Felix Editor, you then went for the Union Publicity Officer.
Yes.
That presumably is because you were very interested in the publicity of the Union.
Yes. I've always wanted to get involved with ICU, and after the elections, when I'd done so many posters, I thought, well, if I can't be editor, I'll produce posters.
So what was the main reason that John is not now editor?
Unfortunately, he put a lot of work into Felix last year, but he went over the top. I think it must have affected his academic work and his studies, and the union had to issue a statement in August saying that he was not of sufficient academic standing to take up the sabbatical. They had to do this because the college governing body regulation states that you have to be of good academic standing, and although it's not in the Blue Book, the governing body minute adds to the Blue Book, and that's why they had to say, sorry, I'm afraid you have to go.
Now, apparently John wasn't too pleased at this decision, and he decided to fight it in the High Court. What exactly was he trying to do?
He hoped to, firstly, make himself editor straight away, almost for the fresh as Felix. Not so much reinstatement, but to put through an injunction that implied that he should never have been dismissed from the job, and that implied that I should never have been asked to be acting Felix editor. So we had a lot of problems last Tuesday week in the High Court. It was like having a baby. We were waiting at the phone to get a report through, and finally it came through. The injunction had been, it didn't succeed, and now I'm acting Felix editor.
And so you'll carry on acting as Felix editor until the new elections?
Yes, they're at the end of this month, and I'm hoping to win this time.
Presumably there'll be a lot of publicity for these elections.
There have been quite a few articles in Felix, and the papers are up in the Union Lower Lounge. So if anyone does want to stand, they've got until next Friday week to get proposed and have 20 seconders.
Now, the actual situation of this High Court drama, as you put in the Faces Felix, has been ruled as sub judice. What exactly does that mean?
It cannot be openly discussed at a UGM, but Forward have gone in with sort of full guns blazing, and I reckon they've broken the rules. I shouldn't say that, but I think so. Today I can't discuss it very much, and I've been asked not to discuss it in Felix. It says here the editor of Felix should carefully vet any articles or letters which appear in its columns. So I do just that, I don't print them.
But presumably that means simply with people's opinions rather than the facts, which we...
Yeah, we can talk about the facts, and that's what we've done today.
Yeah, well, in this new election you are going to stand then, are you?
Yes, I'm already fully seconded, looking for a proposer. I might ask you later
Anybody
on.
please write to
Yes. It is a bit of a joke. I mean, we shouldn't really be discussing this on television, but it's such an unusual situation that That's what it is.
What would happen if you did stand and then didn't pass? Or, sorry, and didn't get elected?
Yes, well, pass is probably the right word. I could well fail my exams, third-year exams. I'm hoping that I win, because if I don't, I'm going to have to catch up on a month's work.
And you're starting your third year?
Yes, I'm doing my third year now. I mean, I can't go to lectures and do Felix, and I decided to do Felix. You know, I'm being paid as a sabbatical, which is a postgrad rate, and I've got a free room in hall, so...
That's quite a bold step.
Yeah.
OK, well, the Freshers issue was quite a large one. Is this going to be a typical thing of this year?
I hope so. Large issues, but not quite as big, because it took a lot of energy through the night. We were up 6 nights without sleep, using a kind of 2-hour rota system, and we had about 150 people helping us in the end over the weekend.
Yes.
Can't do that all the time. People have got to go to lectures too, you know.
So, how's tomorrow's Felix going?
We got problems there too. Ian Morse, our printer, kind of got locked in between 2 doors in his new flat and stuck there for 3 hours and read everybody's mail while he was trying to be released. So we've got a few hassles. It'll have to be a 12-pager next, well, this Friday, and hopefully it'll come out.
So, if you do get elected, the rest of the year is going to be seeming quite easy?
It's going to be absolutely boring, an absolute anticlimax. Nothing can beat what's been going on for the last couple of months.
Well, another thing that's coming up quite soon is the RAG Fair, and Rachel Snee, who is the RAG organiser, is with us now with David Garney. But before we move on to them, I believe that she's bumped into you quite recently.
Yes, well, Rachel wants us to buy rag knickers, or rag Y-fronts, they ought to be called for males. Yes, all of us. I thought it was a good idea too, because you know the problems with getting things washed these days. So I thought I'd chuck all my old ones away and buy some new ones. But last night Tuesday night we were in the JCR for the Life Sciences party, and Rachel basically said to me, take some pictures of me taking my clothes off with the rag knickers on. So oblige, I did. But guess what happens? RCS there take the camera off me and basically tell me to take all my clothes off, so they take pictures. So there's me and there's 500 people in the JCR, and I'm standing there virtually starkers. What an embarrassment! And it's only the second day of term. What's going to happen next?
Well, just hope the pictures came out, and if so,
they
will happen next week. But right now, let's see what Rachel Sneer's got to show us. Over to you.